Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. The forecast for baseball. Great, man. New England fall. Boston is cutting loose with thunder and lightning, and it looks as if the Red Sox will be holding forth when the leaves turn. Houston Heat. The Astros are simply sizzling, and the rest of the West is gasping for breath in the face of their steamy assault. Indian summer. Cleveland has its eye on a bright and sunny sky with no change in the extended outlook for the coming seasons. California cool. The Angels are breezing along and the climate is right for success. So stay tuned, because the temperature is rising, y'all, right here on This Week in Baseball. Celebrating our 10th anniversary.
For me, This Week in Baseball is the greatest way to find out what happened this week in baseball. So, Mel, to you and all the gang there, a happy 10th anniversary. I'll be looking for 10 more out of you and maybe me.
Thanks, Don. American League. Boston seems to have shaken its past at last.
If a guy goes in a slump and you're on a second division ball club, you never hear the word choke. But the minute you're fighting for a pennant and a guy goes into a slump, or a team goes into the slump, the team choked. I think that's ridiculous.
You can tell when a team's choking. They look nervous, you know. They just lose their aggressiveness. They've become pretty passive. They don't say much. But that's not the atmosphere of this club.
No thing is choke. You know, you can easily go out there, you're not playing aggressive ball. That's not choking. But when the guys just walk off the field and give up, that's choking. To me, that's, they just don't want to play.
The word choke? Yeah, the word choke is in my vocabulary when you catch somebody around the neck and choke them.
That's what the 86 Red Sox are doing to everybody else. 11 straight wins to lengthen their lead in the East. The Sox have come from behind to win 36 times this year, including 15 on their last at-bat.
What happens when you do that is you get such a confidence factor that as soon as you get behind in future games, you think you can win them, whereas opposed to just winning when you're always ahead and never coming back when you're behind. I can stand it for the rest of the year. It's been really exciting so far, and everybody's playing so well. Everyone's starting to hit again, and the bullpen's just doing a tremendous job, and our starters are doing great. It's really fun to go out there and play nowadays.
Bases still loaded, now 2 outs, but Jim Rice, the hitter. He sends it deep to right field. Back goes Brunansky with the wind. It's gone. Another grand slam home run for Jim Rice.
His second in 3 days, giving Rice 22 RBIs in 17 games and helping Boston open up its biggest lead since the All-Star break.
We're doing the small things to win a ball game. Hitting behind the runner, going from first to third. You got to do the fundamental things. You can't wait for the big innings to hit home runs. I know my role. I know what I have to do. Other guys, you got to go out and they need a little push. Even though he's an established ball player, even though he's a star or a superstar, sometimes we still need that little nudge. Everyone deserves a pat on the back now and then, because it make you start thinking about the game and start making you going back to the fundamentals and the basics of the game.
Basics, like not taking anything for granted and not looking too far ahead.
One day at a time. You don't go any further than that, or one game at a time, one inning at a time, one at bat, one pitch at a time. Have fun, play hard, play with some intensity, and I think that's our goal.
On to Cleveland, where the Indians have proved they're no longer patsies. Even though Cleveland is virtually out of the running for this season, the Indians have high expectations for the future because their fortunes are most definitely looking up, thanks largely to some outstanding young players. Example, Corey Snyder, 23 years old, batting average near 280, 21 homers, 54 RBIs, all since coming up from the minors in mid-June.
When I went down to AAA, that helped a lot, you know, because there are a lot of pitchers there that were in the big leagues and we're coming back, or they're, you know, up and down. And I think it really helped me mentally, especially going down there for the month and a half, because, you know, I was saying, you know, these guys have been in the big leagues, and if I can hit off them, I can hit up there. And I seemed to concentrate a little more, and I got better mentally. That's, you know, what happened when I came up here. It was, you know, pretty much the same. It was just bigger crowds and bigger stadiums and the big names up here. But I kind of went out and said, you know, it's just another pitcher out there, and I got a hit just like I did in AAA.
A member of the '84 U.S. Olympic team, Snyder's played several positions for Cleveland.
Corey Snyder's bona fide, you know. There's no fluke there. He's a bona fide ball player, and he's going to be a darn good one. He has probably the best arm in baseball, without a question of a doubt. He has tremendous power, and he's a teachable young kid. So what the people of Cleveland have in store at Corey Snyder is probably going to be a tremendous superstar for quite a few years.
They've got another in Joe Carter, a 26-year-old outfielder batting above 300 with 27 homers, 103 RBIs, and the explosive ability to break open a ball game.
Carter goes high and deep toward right center field. It's going toward the bullpen, and it is gone for a home run. Holy mackerel, what a night. 5 for 5 with 3 home runs and 4 RBI.
First of all, you can't describe Joe Carter's ability because it's ability that you don't know how much there is there. It's untapped. He's just starting to play like he's capable of playing. How far he'll go, that's up to Joe Carter, and how far he wants to go. That has a lot to do with it. But he's going to be an outstanding player in the American League.
And Cleveland could be an outstanding team in seasons to come. Wandering westward, California seems to be moving in for the kill. Not many people picked the Angels to win their division this season, but they have an almost insurmountable lead after streaking to 13 out of 15. Plenty of reason for California fans to be thinking championship series.
Nowadays, they're down 2-3 runs. We're waiting for them to come back.
Angel fans are a lot more confident now this year.
What I would tell some of those writers who predicted that the Angels wouldn't do very well is I would go out and buy their magazine and say, here you are, start eating your words.
In the past years, they always come so close to the playoffs and then blow it. But this year, it seems to be going a little bit stronger, so it's kicked up along the fans also. They want to see them go all the way.
If they do, Don Sutton will be a big reason. Still going strong with a solid record of 14-9 at age 41, Sutton recently made career start number 700, second on the all-time list behind Cy Young.
I would hope that in being on this ball club that I can make 33, 34 starts. They can know that I'm going to go to the post and pitch. We may not win them all, but hopefully I'll give us a chance to win more than I'll cause us to lose. And if I can win 15 of them and listen and ask some questions and answer some questions maybe for some of the younger guys, then I hopefully will have earned my keep.
26-year-old Mike Witt sure is earning his keep. Among the league leaders in wins, complete games, strikeouts, and ERA, he's kept hitters at wit's end all season.
Mike Witt has a chance to be one of the premier pitchers in all of baseball and certainly one of the most dominant pitchers. And I think in the last year or so, he has really matured into a leader on a pitching staff and a guy who is going to be a closer for you and will give you not just a good effort, but a great effort every time out. And he's only going to get better.
No wonder Angel fans are California dreaming. Now, let's open the notebook for This Week in Baseball's Twib Notes from around the American League. California's Reggie Jackson reached another milestone. This double in a victory over the Yankees was career base hit number 2,500 for Jackson, who at age 40 is playing in his 20th Major League season. A season that might very well be his last. Congratulations, Reggie. Baltimore's Eddie Murray also reached a milestone, collecting career RBI number 1,000 in a win over Seattle, making him the first player since Hall of Famer Frank Robinson to drive in 1,000 runs over his first 10 seasons. Robbie did it from 1956 to 65. Hey, they don't call him Steady Eddie for nothing. Kirby Puckett for the last-place Minnesota Twins continues to produce prodigiously. First player this year to bang out 200 hits. With an average above 340, Puckett is battling Boston's Wade Boggs for the batting championship. He's also got 27 homers and 81 RBIs. How about that? Now it's time for this week's quiz, brought to you by Nissan. Test drive the new Nissan hard-bodied trucks at your Nissan dealer now. Milwaukee's Robin Yount began his big league career with the Brewers when he was 18 years old. And in a recent game against Cleveland, he collected career base hit 2,000, less than 2 weeks shy of his 31st birthday. Only 2 other players in Major League history got 2,000 hits at a younger age than Yount. And now for this week's quiz. Can you name them? Stay tuned for a pair of all-time greats. National League Spotlight. In Houston, the Astros win a showdown. Cincinnati's Pete Rose was looking to make a run at Houston, but the Reds came up short in both games. Nolan Ryan dominated the opener, striking out at least 10 for the 161st time in his career. He allowed only 2 hits through 6 innings and got win number 10 this season.
He got it. Strikeout number 10 for Nolan Ryan, and that fastball was 97 miles an hour. A standing ovation for Nolan Ryan.
That's on our slogan, too. The guy was throwing great. He's throwing like he's 25 years old again. You know, coming off the sore elbow, and here we are taking him out before he finishes ball games because the elbow's tender. And, boy, I'll tell you, there's not an opponent that's seen him in the last month who would give you any indication that his elbow's tender.
In Game 2, the Reds were handled easily by Mike Scott, who struck out 7 over 8 innings to raise his Major League leading total to 260. Scott also raised his record to 16-9. Astro bats also did some damage. 12 runs on 25 hits in the 2 wins, lifting Houston's team average to near 260, 3rd in the league.
Bass hitting .309. Career high 18 home runs already. Ground ball, base hit back up the middle. Davis makes the turn. He's coming on. The throw by Eddie Milner. Cut off. 3-0 Houston.
Kevin Bass has probably been the most consistent hitter that we've had throughout the season. He's been right around the .310 average throughout the whole season. From the left side and the right side, he's about, a point away from batting average on both sides, so he's been very consistent both ways.
I think just all around, we got a good team. And there's been a lot of doubters. Sports writers and stuff had us picked 5th or whatever. But, we proved a lot of people wrong.
That's for sure. With the 3rd best record in baseball, only a total collapse will stop the Astros from winning the West. Over in the East, the mighty Mets have been a cinch to clinch. There's not much left to say about New York. Some 50 games above 500, close to 100 wins, league leaders in team hitting and pitching. What else is there to do for manager Davey Johnson?
Davey had instilled that into our minds way back when, that all we wanted to do was win, but win big. And he just didn't want to ever ease down at any time. And it's not a matter of rubbing it in or anything like that. It's just a matter that he wants us to win. And it doesn't matter by what account. And we've played with the same kind of intensity all year. And when that happens, then you're going to have a winning year. And that's what's happened. And Davey wants to win, but he wants to win big.
He's getting his wish, all right, and Gary Carter is the key reason. 21 homers and 94 RBIs make him an MVP candidate.
Well, it would be a wonderful feeling to, of course, be acknowledged as an MVP, and it would be a wonderful feeling. It would be one that I would be very, very thankful for. But I think this whole team has been an MVP team, and whatever happens, happens. But it would be something that I would be very, very proud of.
Every Met has reason to be proud about this season. Now, let's review this week in baseball's twib notes from around the National League. Los Angeles pitcher Fernando Valenzuela has a great chance to win his 2nd Cy Young Award, leading the league in victories with 18 and complete games with 17. Also 2nd in strikeouts and 3rd in innings pitched. No doubt the Dodgers are down this year, but Fernando is flying. Now, listen to this.
Bases loaded and 2 down. Horner with a 9-game hitting streak. Now the 2-2. On the way. Swung on drill. Left center field. Back toward that wall. Grand slam. Bob Horner has just grand slammed. And I believe that's his first grand slam in the major
right on Hoerner's 210th career home run. Now, let's bring home the answer to this week's Nissan quiz. Henry Aaron got 2,000 hits at a younger age than Robin Young, and so did Ty Cobb, who was 29 when he reached that mark. His career total of 4,191 was a record that stood for almost 60 years until Pete Rose broke it last season. Aaron was 30 when he reached 2,000. The Major League Home Run King had 3,771 hits overall, third on the all-time list. You know, sometimes baseball can really bug a big leaguer, especially when he can't depend on a sure thing, like what goes up must come down, doesn't it? Hey, bug off, man, because if this bugaboo continues, we'll all end up in a big league bug house. This for bugging somebody. Well, it's time now to pick it up and bear down with some big leaguers who can field the ball as snug as a bug in the rug. Up first, Atlanta's Rafael Ramirez. For the New York Mets, Ray Knight. Detroit Tiger Chet Lemon. Kansas City's Argenis Salazar. Baltimore's Lee Lacy. Minnesota's Greg Gagne. Toronto's Willie Upshaw. Blue Jay teammate Lloyd Mosby. Oakland's Mike Gallego. The A's again with Alfredo Griffin. Still with the A's for an encore by Gallego. Way to go, Gallego. Seattle Mariner Ray Quinones. Back to Oakland for Stan Javier. For the New York Yankees, Dave Winfield. And finally, Cincinnati's Eric Davis.
Here's Dunston to drive way back. Holy cow! That might be the greatest play of the year. Boy, oh boy, if that were in the 7th game of the World Series, he'd be famous forever.
And now, This Week in Baseball's 10th anniversary flashback, brought to you by Gatorade. Let's flash back to 1985. Toronto catcher Buck Martinez gave one of the gutsiest displays in memory during a game at Seattle's Kingdome, breaking his leg in mid-play, but still doing the job.
3-2 pitch again to Gorman, swung on, ground ball to the right side, base hit out in right field. Here comes Bradley, running third, the throw by Barfield, and it's going to be in time. The collision, Bradley bowls Martinez over. Thomas will wind up on the third base, rounding third. The throw gets by Orange, throw to the plate, and it is in time to get Gorman. Holy smoke, Buck Martinez bowled over.
That is one of the most incredible throws and catches by a catcher I have ever seen. I think that Buck Martinez was semi-comatose, to tell you the truth.
I had a ground ball through the hole between first and second base, and Jesse Barfield's got a cannon, and he threw the ball to the dish, and Buck had the ball 15 feet before Phil Bradley, got there. And it was a clean play. He tried to, draw the ball loose. And when he hit him, evidently his toe was caught in a toe hole in the batter's box. And when he went backwards, the ankle gave, snapped, and he went over backwards.
It was all reaction after Bradley hit me initially. I saw Gorman running from second to third, and I thought I'd try to throw one down in that direction, but it didn't work out that way. And the next thing I know, I saw George Bell picking up the ball, and I realized he was going to throw it to me, and he made a great throw. It just happened to bounce in my glove.
So I'm coming to the dish, and he's laying perpendicular to the baseline. He's in between myself and the plate, and I've got no place to slide. And sure as hell, I'm not going to slide into him again. First off, he's a very good friend of mine who I respect very much. And also, even though he's an imposing player, I'm not going to add injury to insult. I mean, he was hurt. Anybody in the ballpark could see it. Here comes the ball, and all of a sudden, he just raises his glove. He didn't move one other muscle in his body. He just raised his glove, and the ball went right in his glove, and I stepped on the glove. People in the stands hooded all over me because I didn't bury him and everything. But here's a man laying on the ground, and I'm going to hurt him any further or any more. And we ended up losing the ball game in extra innings. But when the inning was over, I went through the maze of tunnels. I went over, and he was laughing, and, you know, he was in good spirits. But he's a very good friend, and I hope he comes back.
37-year-old Buck Martinez missed the rest of the '85 season, but this year he came back fully recovered. And that's all for now, folks. See you next week on This Week in Baseball.